deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the
So there are wonderful acoustics in this building, aren't there? It's so perfectly created here. I love the Lord's Prayer. It's a series of affirmations, actually. Jesus didn't write or probably even say the Lord's Prayer. It was probably a collection of his greatest hits, as it were. They wrote down the sayings of Jesus on little parchment, when those who could write, and they passed them around. Those who were the followers, and somebody, an editor, put together the best of them and said, when you pray, pray like that. So he did not create the Lord's Prayer as we know it. But again, it's a series of affirmations. God within. Where's heaven? Within. What is God's name? For those of you, I am. I am. How are we using I am? Are we saying, I am healthy, I am whole, I am prosperous, I am the divine flow of all good? Or I am so sick this time of the year. Oh my God. What we're saying is God in me is healthy, or God in me is sick. God in me is prosperous, or God in me has no money. And then the universe will respond to that. So I invite you to meditate on these series of affirmations. And what are we really saying? Because a lot of churches, they do it, and I know we've done it here every Sunday, but it becomes rote almost. We don't even hear what we're saying anymore. That's why I like to do it once in a while. So we really get a fresh take on what's being said here. Well, a few years ago, a British newspaper collected data from various sources to see how do we spend our lives every day. So they wanted to break down just how many days, months, and hours we spend doing things, our normal everyday things. For example, in a woman's lifetime, she will spend 3,276 hours in the bathroom getting ready for a night out. That's a lot of mascara. But men spend 3,000 hours shaving. It evens out. I spend about 20 seconds. We will spend 23,000 hours in our lifetime doing laundry. Feels like longer, doesn't it? Is it done? It's not dry yet. We spend 27 days waiting for the bus or subway, 6 months waiting in line somewhere, longer if you live in New York, 11 years in front of the television. We spend 38,000 hours eating. I think Unity people have a few more hours there. That's what we do. After the service, we go right to the kitchen. So we add another hour or so a week. We spend 5 years on the internet. 26 years sleeping and 7 years having insomnia. We spend 47,000 hours doing housework. I don't think so.
That doesn't count dusting, right? Thank you.
Or as we guys do it, we dust around. Right? We do. We dust around the thing. Why do I move that? There's no dust in anything. I spent about 47 hours of my life doing housework, actually. Done. Okay, moving on. But here's what I found really interesting in the study. We spend about 3 months laughing and 5 months complaining. Let that take hold for a moment. It appears that we spend more time being unhappy than happy. And those extra 2 months of complaining would undo most of that joy. In fact, there's one survey that said that a little over 1/3 of Americans consider themselves to be very unhappy. Over 1/3. And a full half are still looking for meaning in life, and this goes across all age groups. A full half do not know what their lives are about or what would give them joy. So when you think about your life today, what is foremost in your mind and in your heart about where you are? When you talk about your life with other people, do you affirm that it's wonderful, it's getting better, or do you mutter about how bad it is and how it's getting worse? Do you talk about how wonderful the new year is going to be? Or do you complain about how am I going to pay these holiday bills now? Do you talk about how happy it is to have the friends that you have and how joyful you are to have these people in your life? Or do you talk about how awful the people you work with are? Oh my God, they're at it again. Hello, let me tell you what happened today. We do that. We do that. Do you share how my home, my career, my life are really pretty great? Or do you worry about how this next year is going to turn out? Oh my God, last year was so bad, I don't know what's going to happen this year. We do that. We complain. We don't think we're doing that, but we get into a habit of complaining. If positive thoughts are predominant in your life, that means that you're joyfully grateful about the good that you know is yours. And when we tell the universe that, when we tell other people that, we're drawing it like a magnet to ourselves. If it's mainly negative words we're using, what we're really doing is we're trying to make life work rather than letting life work. We're saying how awful it is, but then we're telling the universe we want it to be really awful. What we're talking about all day long is a prayer request to the universe. What are you talking about all day long? I created Unity of New York. I was an associate minister with Eric Butterworth in New York at Lincoln Center. And there was a desire for more spiritual community, so we began our own center, much like this place did a number of years ago. So I was there for 16 years, and by the end, for various reasons, I felt that the energy at the center was no longer feeding me or working for me in a healthy way. And it was a long time coming. It was a couple of years before I really knew that. I felt it, but finally in meditation I heard, it's time to move on to something else. So I used the affirmation that I love, and I've shared with you before, is I'm in my right place, going to my true place. I am in my right place, because where I am is perfect, and where I'm going is even more perfect. I am in my right place, going to my true place. Affirm that with me. I am in my right place, going to my true place. Breathe that in. So I moved out to California. Oh, the Beverly Hillbillies. I loaded up the truck. And I began a new center in Palm Springs. They had one. It was closed for 8 years. I had 2 meetings and people said, oh my God, we're so excited. So I went there. I had 150 people the first meeting. And a couple of $100 in offering. I went, oh, wait a minute. That's not the way it works. We're supposed to do this so we can. So eventually, after a couple of weeks of this, we chatted with people. They said, well, we're going to wait and see if you succeed before we give you anything. Okay, so then we closed that one up because there was no faith among those who were there that it was going to succeed because they had been burned by another minister. So I consider that to be a really interesting adventure of moving all the way across the country and then moving all the way back to New York again. I am grateful to have gone there. I love Palm Springs. I go back and visit people that I love out there. And it's a wonderful energy. If you've ever been there, you know it's really, the mountains, it's so holy, it's so sacred out there. But there were times when I was doing this thing, there's a time of confusion. Did I hear spirit wrong? Am I not supposed to do this? Was I not getting the information that I was supposed to be getting? I was centered in my joy a lot of times, but a lot of times as the weeks went by, I was confused and angry and anxious and depressed about what I was doing and where's the future going now and what's happening. And I said, did I really not hear that correctly? But as I kept with my meditation and my spirit work, I heard very clearly Spirit say, this is a time you get to live what you have been preaching for 16 years. You hate that? When God says, no, you got to do it now. It's like, oh, wait a minute. It's not just talking about it, it's actually doing it. So Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road came to my mind. That we have to leave where we are to discover who we are. It's the story of the son who went away. The prodigal son went away and came to himself and said, I need to go home. I need to go home within. And ministry is what I do, so I came back to New York. I began a study group. I went to Seattle, did that for a while, and now I'm here. I'm in my right place, and now I'm in my true place. As we trust Spirit, it will be revealed. When we're in the middle of it, it's really hard to see sometimes, isn't it? The great lesson I got to own, even though I knew it intellectually, and I talked about it every Sunday in classes, is that we can always, always, always begin again. Begin again and again and again and again. As Oscar Hammerstein said in The Sound of Music, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Always begin again. Take another thought, take another breath, take a new idea, take an old idea, rethink it, and begin again. If last year wasn't fun for you, guess what? We have another year to do it again. Happy New You, as we say in Unity. I can rethink. What am I doing? Who am I? What do I want my life to be now? I can begin it again. Start your life anew. You didn't get that job or that new business? It's coming. Just say, thank you, God. I don't know how it's going to work. But as it's revealed, it will be, the path will be within me. And I'll know what to do. You didn't get that wonderful mate in 2018 that you prayed about so much? You wrote in your letter last year? Open the letter. Where is it? Where is he? Where is she? The truth is we have to keep being the man or the woman that we want to have in our lives. You've got to be that person you're looking for. Have you created space in your closet for that person to show up? Do you have a drawer for them? Or is everything so packed in your home, nobody can come in there? Make room. Make a space. When you become the person you're looking for, you are that irresistible, gorgeous, fascinating, hot. God. Self that you've been waiting for. And then you will draw that into your life. Right?
Right.
You didn't make enough financial good last year. Okay. It's 2019 now. Welcome to now. Worrying about not having it shuts it down. Complaining about not having it shuts it down for a long time. This year we affirm something new. God's inexhaustible good is flowing into my life now. God's inexhaustible good, I love that phrase. God's inexhaustible good is flowing into my life now. Affirm that with me. God's inexhaustible good is flowing into my life now. My income soars through the roof. Together. My income soars through the roof. I have more than enough money to spare and share. I have more than enough money to spare and share. I accept unexpected income. I accept unexpected income. Take a breath. How did that feel? I am healthy and strong. Together. I am healthy and strong. I am prosperous. I am prosperous. That was okay. Let's do that one again like you believe it. Together. I am prosperous. I am sexy, magnetic, and hot. I am one you can work on a little bit. I am loved by God, the universe, and everything in it. I am loved by God, the universe, and everything in it. Breathe in. Are you dizzy? Which one of those stuck in your throat? Which one did you say, or you were laughing so hard you couldn't say it? Because you become me? Oh, irresistible, sexy, and hot? Are you? Yes, you are. When you say you are, you are. As children of God, I am is our name. What are you applying it to? Why did it bother you? I invite you to meditate on that later on. Why did that one bother me? Why does that make me angry or irritated? Or why do I feel myself turning red when I say I'm hot? Because you're hot. Maybe embarrassed too, but you are hot and beautiful and wonderful. But we're taught that's arrogant to say out loud. Imagine your mother sitting next to you when you said, I am hot. That's a whole different workshop, isn't it? You're selfish, you're just plain wrong. You shouldn't say that. No, the truth is we need to say that. We need to affirm the truth. I am a creation of divinity herself. You are a creation of spirit. We were created with these truths and more. Only when we finally choose to align with the universal knowledge of who and what we are, can we make them permanent in our lives. We have to allow Spirit to do the work, but we have to be willing to meet Spirit halfway. I counseled a woman years ago. I think I shared this in my first workshop when I did my candidate weekend, or one of the other classes that I did back in the other room there. So I shared that I worked with a woman in New York who really didn't think that her mate was ever going to come. She had been trying for years to find her right and perfect husband. So I told her to work on her divine order list. I invited her to write in a specially dedicated notebook for a full week what she was looking for in this man that she hadn't met yet. No detail, I told her, was unimportant. Height, weight, hair color, work, interest, temperament. If it felt right for her, write it down. If she found a quality that was appealing, it was good. Don't question it, just write it down. I said, work on it for a few days, put it away for a week, come back and take a look at it. She wrote 50 pages. Well, 50 pages, wow. And I said, okay, now, cross off what is not essential. Take out what is not needed. She got it down to 30 pages. 30 pages, okay. I said, that was all you crossed out? She said, those are the mandatory qualities I am expecting. I said, and so it is. A couple of months went by, I got a call. She met somebody with every single quality she had written down. I officiated their wedding, and that was over 17 years ago. They're still together. They're still madly in love with each other. The Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, the address of your happiness is here and now. The address of your happiness is here and now. Your life only operates in now. The past is done. It's over. Unless we keep living it and keep recreating it, then we make it our present. The future is hypothetical. It hasn't happened yet. God doesn't work in hypothetical situations, only in now. So what I want you to do, you're given a piece of paper. Everybody has a piece of paper, yes? Didn't get a piece of paper, put your hand up and we'll get you one. I want you to write down, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do this. I want you to write down 12 important things, qualities, whatever it is that you are claiming for this year. What are the top 12? As we chatted on Christmas, 12 is the base number of the universe. So I'm going to give you a moment. Again, go to your heart, not your head. What is your heart telling you is the top 12? It could be a relationship, it could be work, more of financial good, the right and perfect home, whatever it might be, write down the top 12. I'll give you if you can't think of anything, that's a real indication that we have put our dreams away so deeply that they're not readily available, and that would be something to meditate on later. Have I put it down so far inside of me that I'm not able to access it? If they came quickly, then they were there and they're ready to go. Now I want you to circle the top 3. What are your top 3? Some people get so paralyzed by this one. Don't, because you can always change it. But right now, what does it feel like, the top 3? Looking at those top 3, I want you to put a star next to number 1. As you meditate on this week, do 50 pages like that woman did. Keep writing. What is it that you're looking for? And know that if you have it in your mind, if it comes out from your heart onto the paper, you can have it. The truth is, if you wrote it down, you can have it. Because that's a divine idea from Spirit. It's an idea we thought we killed off long ago or died a long time ago. That dream never died, and it never will. You're here to have the most joyful, exciting, fulfilling, loving, mind-blowing, heart-expanding, creatively satisfying life you could ever imagine. That's the truth of you. We're here to have a party. That's number 5 of our unity teaching. Now the original says, go do it, which is, that's a Nike ad. Just do it, okay? For me, life is a celebration. The party is going on. We've been invited to it because we're here. So it's time to get into life and enjoy the life we've already been invited to have. So I invite you to close your eyes. Go to your heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the joy, feel gratitude, feel life and love. And all the good that you've been waiting for is right here, right now, waiting for us to say yes to it. As we get into our meditation time, we begin by singing, "Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light." Breathe into your heart the light, the peace, the love, the joy, the good of God. Know that you're in a safe place. And that place is your heart. It's your consciousness, your awareness that God and I are one. That I am truly a divine being having a human adventure. Breathe in. Review in your heart what you wrote a few moments ago. Did this come from the heart or from the head? If it felt exciting to write, if it felt natural, it came from spirit. If it felt forced, it might have come from somewhere else. I was created to have a wonderful life, a rich life, a healthy life, a creative and satisfied life. Every life has challenge, but we are not overwhelmed or overcome when I know that God and I are one. We are healthy and strong. We are abundantly blessed. We are guided by God's love and wisdom. We know what to do and how to do it. And it's revealed by Spirit within. What I need every single day. Give us this day our daily bread, the divine substance I need for my life to work. When we joyfully and faithfully call it forth, it shows up. Meditate now on the number one word that came to you. What is that word? Can you say, I am this? I am prosperity. I am wholeness. I am successful. I am light. I am love. This is your true name. This is who and what I am. Feel Spirit reveal this. Let the word speak to you. What is the word saying? What does Spirit want you to know about this? In the silence, listen. What is God? Creative Spirit, life itself, revealing about this idea. Breathe into your heart. Let that one word be emblazoned in your mind, in your heart, in every fiber of your being, every atom. What color is this word? What does it look like? What is Spirit speaking through this word? Take a deep breath. Be with that word. When you're ready, I want you to open your eyes and take your white stone. Anybody get the stone? Anybody not have a stone? Anybody have it? And I want you to write that word right here. What color? We have pens. We have colored pens here. Grab a color. Pens and markers and pencils and whatever word, whatever color came to you, if you want to use that, that's good. We would take that and pass that around, that would be wonderful. You can also use just a pen if you want, whatever works for you. It's a wonderful reminder. The white stone ceremony comes from the book of Revelation, actually. And it says, "They that has an ear, let them hear what Spirit says. I will give them a white stone, and in the stone a new name." A new name. I am what? God in me is what? Prosperous, healthy, whole, successful, high, beautiful. What word works? Sorry? Yes, we have more. Once you've written your word, I invite you to close your eyes. Go to your heart. Breathe into your heart. Feel gratitude. Feel joy. Feel love and loved. We are held, secure, protected, guided perfectly by Spirit within. My job is to say thank you. To meditate and let this word live in me today, tomorrow, this week, this year. For the revelation of this truth, we are so